have a look at the types of shots that go in, do some analysis on your team, the types of shots that are, or the goals that are scored, or the shots that go in. What you'll find is there's lots of 1 and 2 touch finishes in and around the penalty area, and it's not often, it's just the player and the goalkeeper in front of you.
I think my top 3 tips for coaching goalkeepers, first and foremost, is we've got to involve them. We've got to make them feel like they are a part of the team, not separate to the team. The second one is using those points of reference and maybe using like 3 words to just keep it really simple, so not trying to bombard them with loads of information and technical detail. I think just having like 3 key words for them to remember. So, for example, position, action, communication. And then the third one, I laugh when I say this because the goalkeeper coach that I worked with last year used to actually drive me mad about this, but he's got a really good point. So he always used to make a real thing about if the format they play on a weekend is 9v9, we need to use 9v9 goals. And it was probably a bit lazy from us because we just put the goals that were nearest to wheel out. But actually he was saying that that's their frame of reference, and ultimately they've got to stop the ball from going in the goal. So it needs to be a realistic size goal to what they would be playing in on a weekend. So I think, yeah, the third top tip would be that realism in terms of goal size and area size. So I've got him to thank for that.
The first top tip I would give around the goalkeepers is just make sure they're included in the practices that you put on. That's the main one. Include them in the practices, because there's loads of benefits that for goalkeepers that we can get from including them in the practices that you put on. I think the other 2 bits will be ensure that there is realism of the types of shots they should save. The amount of times I would see a coaching session where a player passes the ball to a coach who rolls it to the left or right, and the player shoots at the goal. That very, very rarely happens in a game of football. So have a look at the types of shots that go in, do some analysis on your team, the types of shots that are, or the goals that are scored, or the shots that go in. Even have a look at match of the day and have a look. What you'll find is there's lots of 1 and 2 touch finishes in and around the penalty area, and it's not often, it's just the player and the goalkeeper in front of you. It's quite often there might be 1 or more players as well as the goalkeeper to beat at any one time. So make sure that your practices are realistic to the types of saves that the goalkeeper would have to make. And the third one is just adapt your practice to meet the needs of the goalkeeper. So if you want your goalkeeper to get better at catching crosses, well, put something in place where goals that are scored from crosses count double, because you'll get lots of them in. Make the pitch much smaller and you'll get lots of repetition of shooting. Make the pitch longer, potentially you might get more, and narrower, you might get more repetition of long balls for the goalkeeper to come out. So adapt your pitches, adapt your practices to give the goalkeeper some returns that you might want.